The world of tennis has been plagued with this debate, just as many other major sports. Who is the greatest of all time? In this video, we'll be bringing you to who the tennis legends think is the best amongst the big three. This right here has to be the most debatable topic in the world of tennis and all of its history. These three tennis players have given so much to the game and made it an incredible show to watch. We are even tempted to refer to their astonishing performances on court as the greatest show. The term GOAT, meaning greatest of all time, can be ascribed to all of them with none significantly lagging behind. But trust fans and spectators still debate over who should actually be given the title. Who indeed has put the most mark on tennis? What exactly are we using to measure this? Will the measuring scale ever cut across and truly define each player to the best of their abilities? So just sit back and relax as we bring you a debate that has haunted the world of tennis. Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal have all had wonderful experiences on the court, but being men in the same era, time, and period with their type of accomplishments have made them the most talked about players over the years, with fans all around the world and even their mates and legends heaping praises on these legends in the game. As many legends have constantly shared their view on who they believe has made the most impact on tennis and also done great for themselves, we'll start off by looking at a couple of our tennis icons and what they say about this incredible trio. Some say it's okay to measure who the GOAT is by strength, playing abilities, or even the number of Grand Slams they have won. I think people have simplified it. The easiest way for people to do it is just go by the number of slam wins, says Andy Murray. Over time, Andy has abstained from sharing his view on who he thinks the GOAT is, but finally, he thinks 35-year-old Rafael Nadal is qualified to be GOAT by a measure of his wins from Grand Slams with a total of 22 Grand Slam titles ahead of the other two. Impressive, right? This is just the beginning of the debate. However, Pete Sampras, who during his career had won the highest number of Grand Slams before the trio, says in an interview, "I do think what Novak has done over the past 10 years, winning the majors, being consistent, finishing number one for 7 years, to me is a clear sign that he is the greatest of all time." He follows by saying, "I think he is more consistent, he's won more events, he's got more majors. I could go on and on talking about his career. I don't think you will ever see 7-year-end number ones again." Honestly, I would say Novak has outdone himself repeatedly, which has made the likes of a legend like Pete Sampras say this about him. And talking about consistency, Novak has shown everyone what feeling together with hard work does. Makes you want to accomplish what you have begun against all odds. It feels like I'm already taking a side on this debate. Over the years, Federer has shown everyone that he's not done with the game of tennis. He has demonstrated greatness throughout his career and has constantly been thrown in the midst of whom the GOAT is amidst the trio. However, Nick Kyrgios, an Australian professional tennis player, on the No Boundaries podcast says, "To me, Federer is the Michael Jordan of tennis, what he accomplished for the sport. Of the three, I think it is Federer that the kids admire the most. Overall, he is the one who changed the sport the most." He goes on to say, "Without Federer, there is no Djokovic or Nadal. They were chasing him. In the trio's case, there is no Federer without Nadal or Djokovic, and vice versa, because the big three would not be the big three if there were just two people to be named. Over the years, they have torn at each other's weaknesses and helped build their strengths, making them so unique as they are exceptional in the world of tennis. Just at the moment you think you've seen it all, the trio will always do something extra that pulls them apart amidst the crowd. Their ability to execute a win and make an adjustment mid-match is astounding. The main thing that separates the great from the good is the mental strength, the will, and the zeal to win. These are definitely qualities that characterize this incredible trio." Stan Wawrinka, a Swiss professional tennis player, in a podcast with L'Equipe after the 22 Australian Open, spoke about how much he admires Rafael Nadal. He says, "Whatever happens, we cannot compare Nadal with other tennis players, and it's certain. Moreover, he was injured, and as far as I know him, every time in his career Nadal came back from injuries, and he was out for 4, 5, or 6 months, and once again, at this stage and level. With the difficult last year that he had, of course, it's exceptional, just like all his career. Iga Swiatek, current women's world number 1, also shares how Nadal has inspired her. Rafa has some superpowers sometimes, I think. He's physically and technically always there on the court. I feel he's the perfect role model. He's the greatest of all time in tennis right now. It's worth noting how Nadal has bounced in and out of injuries over time in his career, and all that he has achieved and done for himself with all this. Regardless of the time spent nursing injuries, he always delivers. He knows how much more he can go if his health is not challenging. He would definitely go clear of the trio if that was the case. It feels like I'm taking sides in this debate again. In his speech, after winning the US Open against Djokovic with a defeat of 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 in 2021, Daniil Medvedev, current world number 1, gives his 2 cents on who he thinks the GOAT is. I just want to say that you, referring to Djokovic, have been brilliant this year and throughout your career. I've never said this to anybody, but I will say it now. For me, you are the greatest tennis player in history, Medvedev said. This revelation, after playing against someone and acknowledging them as great, is not a mere one. And I must say that Daniil must have had a fantastic time on the court to say this. Djokovic's greatness definitely rubbed off on him. Furthermore, after the 2021 US Open, Luke Jensen, a Grand Slam doubles champion, comments on the event and says, "Unfortunately, Djokovic didn't win that match, but I think he's trying to reach for something that there's no way he can be the tennis version of James Bond. Roger Federer is James Bond." However, he didn't stop there. He goes further to say, he's, referring to Roger Federer, the greatest player that ever played because of what he does on the court. Even after Federer has not won a tournament since 2018, it's incredible that Jensen says this about him. When asked about his input on this debate, former world number 1 Andre Agassi told Singapore newspaper Straits Times, "I'd put Nadal number 1, Federer number 2. He added, "Just remarkable to me what he," for referring to Nadal, "has done. And he has done it all during Federer's prime. Nadal had to deal with Federer, Djokovic, Andy Murray in the golden age of tennis. He has done what he has done, and he's not done yet." Andre Agassi didn't mince words when describing how he felt about Nadal, seeing Nadal as the youngest of the 3. Tommy Robredo, a former world number 5, shared his view on who the greatest male tennis player of all time is. He said, "Right now, I would say it's close between Rafa and Novak." And he says further, "It depends on if we say Grand Slams are the most important, or also consider how important the Davis Cup weeks at number 1 or other factors are. It's very difficult to say at the moment." There's no doubt we have been blessed to watch this trio dominate the world of tennis, because they have given us a good show for our money and time. We would see that this division of thoughts amongst legends can be seen from where no one knows what the measuring scale is and should be. Every legend has given their input on whom the GOAT should be based on one achievement or another. However, it can be said that these achievements are shared in one way by the other members of the Big Three. They have created a standard that will be hard to meet and have been notable and worthy role models to young tennis players around the world. They definitely deserve the debate as much as they individually merit the greatest of all time. Former world number 1, Mats Wilander, shares his thoughts on the GOAT debate while speaking to Eurosport stating, "Should this really matter at the end? Who wins the GOAT race? All 3 have had their 3 or 4 years when they have dominated. Now they are going back and forth with Rafa and Novak, so we are just privileged to be a part of it. To me personally, I don't care who ends up with the most slams. We are going to define this as the best 3 tennis players on the men's side of the sport."